Alright, welcome to SouFLoTV again, everybody. It's your host with the most. So this one, the US is to add 30,000 seasonal worker visas as soon as this week. I have a theory, but I'm going to read this first and then I'm going to say what I have to say. So, and I'm sourcing this from Loop News, so credible, right? The Trump administration plans to allow 30,000 more foreign workers temporarily into the United States for seasonal work through the end of September, a move that reflects how the economy is booming and has complicated President Donald Trump's effort to restrict legal immigration. Now, the details of the plan were in a draft rule that was obtained by the Associated Press, and it would benefit oyster shucking companies, fisheries, loggers, and seasonal hotels, including Trump's own Mar-a-Lago club, all of which use the visas to hire immigrants for temporary work they say Americans just won't do. Alright, let me take you on a quick commercial break. You know, sometimes in life, nobody don't want to give you strength when you try find your way. But as soon as you make it, everybody run come. You know what I'm saying? When your cup full. So here's a song by an artist named Blak T. And the name of the song is Sorry. Alright? Listen to the song here. I can so relate. Remember, the name of the artist is Blak T. Alright? And the name of the song is Sorry. Well, chop up.
It's sad to say, sorry. But sorry for y'all who never believe no me till me from somebody. It's sad to say, sorry. If things never work out the way how you want, this is my apology. Mankind wicked and scrupulous, that's why me not too religious. Sorry for y'all who never want see me bust. Stop waste time cause I'm not giving up. Say you not like me but sorry for you. Some songs can relate to what they are for you. Give to Caesar with due to the G. What is for me that could never be for you? Cause the heights for the great man reach and kept. I higher than this so my aim done set. So me now go look at my standard, argue with you. Me pattern me that the footsteps. So play my cause, oh cha-cha. Play my cause, oh cha-cha. Protect me from the fake a friend, be a pretender them. Sometimes they can't bother, so me say sorry. It's sad to say. It's sad to say sorry.
Alright, so the name of that artist is Blak T. Don't forget it. And the name of that track is Sorry. He has more music on the way and a video for this song is on the way. His songs are available on all digital formats, Spotify, Amazon, iTunes, and all that. The artist here come out of Westmoreland. Beer star, did it? Don't it? Alright, back to our regular scheduled program at hand. You heard what they said? Americans just won't do these work. Now let me tell you something before I read any further. I watched a documentary one time and it was brought to my attention that you see when you go to the grocery stores in America, you see the apples and the lettuce and the tomatoes and they're so shiny and so pretty. Now not to mention that they spray stuff on them to make them look shiny and pretty and last shelf life look that way, more appealing to the eyes, right? But when I found out how much they were paid, the people were paid to pick these vegetables and fruits in the fields, I knew then without anyone telling me that no US citizen or legal resident would do that. We would have no reason to get up, go out into the fields, and work in the sun and the rain and the cold and the heat just to pick fruits and vegetables and whatnot for that low of a pay. When in fact, you can have a job at even Burger King or McDonald's or KFC flipping burgers. Just any minimum wage paying job would be more than they earn doing that. So if you ever wonder why they're saying that these are jobs that Americans just won't do, it is because the conditions, first of all, and it's the pay. second of all. And no one's going to do that. All right? So, yes, they have to bring in people that come from other countries where $1 US in their country is a lot more there. So they can have a setback and say, okay, so if I work for $200 or $150 a week back in my country, that's how many thousands of dollars. Whereas if I was home, I would be struggling to find employment to take care of my family, so on and so forth. So let me go get this money, pile the money up, bring it back, and I'll be okay for foreseeable future until they call for us again. It's seasonal work, right? The strong economy has made it increasingly difficult. So what he's saying now is the economy is booming, it's strong, and it's made it's seasonal, difficult for employers to find labor, and the number of seasonal visas have been capped at 66,000 per fiscal year. So I guess he's going to override that 66,000 because he is saying that employers are having to fight against each other just to get employees because business is booming that much. We need people here to work. The citizens of this country are not going to do this job, and we need people here to work. In other words, if it wasn't for farm workers and these immigrants that come through and do the work, seasonal work, we probably wouldn't have any fruits and vegetables on our shelves in our grocery stores and fruit stands and vegetable stands for that matter. That's a reality. So they're saying that the unemployment rate in the US currently is the lowest it has been in 49 years. I don't know if that's true or lie. I've heard many lies before, and they've jumbled numbers up many times before. But this whole 33,000 seasonal worker visas that are about to be put out there, it says a lot. It says a lot. U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services will begin taking applications from employers on behalf of workers once the temporary rule is published in Federal Registry, and this is expected to take place next week, Wednesday. So a lot of my Jamaican brothers and sisters can fly out now and go get some money on the farm work program. They're saying that employers have argued that they desperately need more labor, pitting businesses against those both inside and outside of the White House who may say the visas take away American jobs. Trump has also benefited personally from both seasonal workers and people working in the country illegally at his golf clubs. This is the same man that wanted to build a wall, lock all the doors, shut out all, make no path to citizenship. If you're here and you're illegal, you need to leave, kind of thing, where under other administrations they were saying that's not going to work. All it's going to do is make people run from one state to the other, and until they evade capture, until you are out of office, and whoever comes in next is going to be a whole show all over again for political reasons, and then they can rest easy. Prior presidents were saying that what needed to be done with the whole immigration thing was whoever was in the country illegally already should stay put. Anybody who came in after a certain date, then those were eligible to be deported. But they had to be vetted first. They had to be interviewed to find out first. What are their conditions? Are they running away from prosecution? Is it because, like for instance, where I come from, they kill people that are homosexuals. So, and I am blatantly homosexual and I'm here with my partner and we want to move to the United States, and if we stay, they're going to kill us. Like that kind of stuff, seeking asylum or that kind of stuff. So they weren't just throwing out anybody, but under the Donald Trump administration, there was no room for any of that. If you were here illegally and you were caught, you were gone. And to some extent, I myself cannot say I disagree, because honestly, I've heard people put it this way. You fly that Jamaican flag, right? How do you feel when, say for instance, Haitians just catch a boat and come over and just set up shop in Jamaica and start living there? Do you guys think it's okay? People from other places just come, take over the island, invade the island, extended stays beyond legal limits. And I thought, nah, it's not okay. It's like someone coming into your house, setting up shop, and against your will, and you're asking them to leave and they're not leaving, right? So it's a ticklish thing. However, the 33,000 work visas are, in the White House, there are some, like advisor Stephen Miller, who seek to restrict legal immigration, including reducing visas for high-skilled workers, suspending or limiting entry to the U.S. for individuals from countries with high rates of short-term visa overstays. And that's one of the things I spoke about in the other video, where they put some fake news out there that Jamaicans would be able to travel to the United States of America without visas. So, believe it or not, there are a lot of countries on a long list that are able, that enjoy this privilege. They are able to travel to the United States of America without a visa. No visa required. And one of the stipulations is that it is a nation where they have a very low number of their citizens that come to the U.S. and run off. Jamaica has a very high number. Very, very high number. Matter of fact, the United States has, at one documentary I watched, they had a plan to deport 60,000 illegal Jamaicans. So it is presumed that there was about 60,000 illegal Jamaicans living in the United States of America. Now that's a lot. Coming from a country where the population is about 2.1 million, to have 60,000 illegals from that one country inside of the United States of America, that's considered too much. So right away I knew that we would not be allowed to participate in the visa waiver program, right? It's called a VWP, Visa Waiver Program, where a visa is not required. And they can come, buy a ticket, come on over. They're verified. They verify it online first, send in for their information for requirements online. They're approved, and they purchase a ticket, and they come through. And they're able to stay in the United States of America for up to 6 months at a time. 6 months without a visa. Anything past the 6 months, then they are supposed to have to apply for a normal visa. But imagine if we as Jamaicans were able to travel to the United States of America with just a plane ticket for 6 months. But we're seen as a group that are not trustworthy, because a lot of people come over, they get stamped for 2 months, 3 months, 30 days, 2 weeks, and they run off. And they're never seen or heard from again unless they're picked up by ICE and deported, or they stay long enough to fix their status, which takes years sometimes, and then it's too late. So they contribute to that overpopulation of illegal immigrants in the country. You know what I'm saying? So we wouldn't be granted that privilege. Meanwhile, under this, they're saying that these 33,000 visas will be granted to people who have been vetted, who already had their paperwork. So you've been on the farm work program. We call it farm work in Jamaica. I don't know I'm not reading the entire long spiel here to find out what the real name of it is. But the overseas work program, the people who have done it before, recently, within the past 12 months, are the people who are going to get first priority on this one. Reason being, they were vetted because they've done it, they went, they did their work, they came back. Those who've been doing it for years, they're definitely going to be first pick with this 33,000 visas, because they've done it consistently over and over. They've proven, all I want to do is work. I'm not interested in running off in your country. I'm not interested in going into hiding and becoming an illegal immigrant in your country. I appreciate the opportunity to be able to go and get gainful employment to take care of my family. Yes, it's rough, but that's okay. I'll sort that part out. Nothing's easy. I go, I work, I earn my money, I send it home to my country, and I leave when my paperwork says leave, and I wait for you to call me again, and I am ready to go when you call again. Those are the people that are going to be given these 33,000 visas. And let me close this video by saying this. I did not know. I grew up thinking that people who went on this program, they were only those who picked oranges, apples, like worked in the fields, that kind of menial labor. I had no idea that women were a huge part of this, and that they went as hotel workers, servers, kitchen aides, all kinds of stuff, like every kind of job you could find in a hotel. Making the beds, housekeeping, room service, bartenders, every position there is, right? So, is it a good look? Leave your comment in the comment section below. Tell me what you think about this one. The only thing I say about this is, the only reason why he is putting, because the cap was 66,000 max per year, and he has lifted it and is about to issue 33,000 more. So I'm thinking the only reason is because cheap labor is needed desperately. Leave your comment in the comment section below. Let's talk about this one. It's SouFLoTV, man. I'm out. Peace.
It's sad to say, sorry, but sorry for y'all who never believe no me till me turn somebody. It's sad to say, sorry, if things never work out the way how you want. This is my apology. Mankind wicked and scrupulous.